Nearly 20 years ago, Oprah revolutionized reading when she created, remember this, Oprah's Book Club? It was huge. Since then, 74 titles have earned her coveted stamp of approval. And now, CBS This Morning is very proud to announce that we are collaborating with her as she reveals her latest pick.
Morning, Gail, Charlie, Nora. I wish I was sitting there with you guys, but I have to tell you, I'm filming a movie and couldn't be there in person. But I'm thrilled to be able to, through the miracle of videotape, be able to share with you my next book club selection. It's The Underground Railroad by Colson Whitehead. Now, I'd never read a Colson Whitehead novel. I picked it up, did what I normally do, read the first line, see if the first line gets me. The first time Caesar approached Cora about running north, she said no. This was her grandmother talking. And I was in. And I'm so glad I went in and stayed in, because this is, I have to say, one of the most grim, gripping, powerful novels about slavery I have ever experienced. And I use the word experienced because the read is a journey that you take with all of the characters. But at the end, you feel a sense of inspiration strengthened by the story, their story, and a sense of power. I think no better book for a time such as this. And I'm really excited that all of your viewers will be able to experience the latest book club selection, The Underground Railroad by Colson Whitehead.
All right, that's a nice introduction. You got it straight from the source. Oprah's new book club selection is The Underground Railroad by Colson Whitehead. Goes on sale today, and guess what? Colson is here at the table. Hello, Colson Whitehead.
Hey, hello, welcome.
Let me tell you something. At the magazine, Lee Haber, who's our book editor, is always looking for a book. She sends Oprah books constantly that she reads, and it's always nope, 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 nope. It took over a year and a half, and Lee came in and said, Oprah likes it, she likes it, she likes it. She said that it was an emotional read for her. I'm wondering if it was as emotional for you to write it.
Well, I think in general, when I'm done with the book, I'm done with the book and don't want to think about it. And for the first time, I've gone back to different passages, this chapter, that passage, and really relived writing it and how emotional it was and how powerful it was to narrate Cora's story. So it's been a different experience for me ever since I finished it, and then giving it to people, my editor and my agent. The response has been just so different and new.
You've never written about race and slavery, and in any slavery story, somebody is going to die.
No, I mean, race is one of the things I write about. It's in this book or not in that book. But slavery, I avoided it for a long time. It seemed a very daunting subject. I first came up with the idea of the book 16 years ago. I was sitting on my couch, and I think a lot of people, when they first hear about the Underground Railroad, when they're a kid, they think it's a literal subway. Yeah. And then you hear about it's not, and you're sort of disappointed. And so I was thinking, what if the Underground Railroad actually was a literal railroad, and took it from there? And that's a premise, it's not really a story. So I kept thinking about it, and I was thinking, what if every state our protagonist goes through as he or she goes north is a different state of American possibility. And so it became sort of Gulliver's Travel type structure.
And what was your reaction when you learned that Oprah had chosen you and your book as part of its book club?
Well, you know, I try to keep a downcast demeanor and depressive outlook on life. But the last 4 months, you know, we found out in April, I've just been in a good mood. I'm at the supermarket, and the cashier's like, paper or plastic? And I'm like, Oprah's Book Club? Or I'm in a taxi, and they're like, where you going, bud? And I'm like, so it's been a...
But normally she calls the author.
Yeah.
But she couldn't call you because you were on a plane.
I was traveling, and so I couldn't get that, that iconic moment. But we landed, and I got a voicemail from my agent, and usually when my agent calls me, I'm in trouble or something. So I was a little worried, and then she said, Oprah, and I was like, shut the front door, and then she said, Oprah's Book Club, and I said, mother blankety blank, and then everyone's looking at me because I was on an airplane, but TSA didn't take me off. So
and here you are.
Do you have a sense that there's a revival in interest in slavery and the implications of slavery?
Well, I think as I'm sort of in the moment, so I can step back and figure out why there's Django Unchained and 12 Years a Slave and why they're popular, or Roots. I couldn't watch the Roots reboot. I'm sort of slavoried out at the moment. So one day I might go back to it. But I think as we get more African American writers and directors and actors and get more access, we're able to tell our own stories, and the number just
But people
increases.
like Ta-Nehisi Coates are talking about it, and others.
Yeah, I mean, some people point to Ferguson and Black Lives Matter.
Right.
For me, what those movements are addressing in those moments, it's not really news to me, and so I think it's taking up a larger space in the America's consciousness. But I think if you're Black American, you sort of know all this already.
But you talked about, too, being a father, Colson, how it influenced the writing of this book in particular.
Yeah, well, I think when I had the idea, I was in my early 30s and kind of a Gen X slacker, just goofing off all day, and I wasn't able to, tackle the book. And every couple of years, I would revisit the idea. Am I ready now? And then work on something else. And then I think becoming older and becoming a father, I understood what it was like in a new way to, see your parent, your child beaten, killed, tortured.
Taken away from you.
Taken away from you. I was more able to inhabit that feeling in a way that I could when I was younger. So I think it was good to wait. I think I became a better writer in the last 16 years. And so in terms of my ability, I think I was able to do a better job than I would have done 16 years ago. And I think as a person, I think I was more able to take it on.
Well,
congratulations.
your slacker days have been over for a long time, Colson Whitehead. We're really thrilled to have you at the table. Maybe you and I should do a Facebook Live a couple weeks from now.
That sounds...
After people give people a chance to read it, and then we can talk to you.
That sounds groovy. Thanks a lot.
That's a date.
It's
That's a
groovy.
date, you and
Thank
me.
you,
Colson
Colson.
Whitehead, thank
Thank
you
you
so much. And go to cbsthismorning.com for a reader's guide and an excerpt from The Underground Railroad, which goes on sale today. Plus, there are more bonus features. And don't miss Oprah's interview with Colson Whitehead. It's in the September issue of, what's the magazine, Nora?
Oh!
The Oprah magazine. Also on newsstands next Tuesday, August 9th.